Hello and welcome to Embracer's Q4 in brief. We're here with CEO and founder Lars Wingefors. Hello, Lars.
Good morning, Oscar.
Have some questions here after the Q4 report and presentation. First of all, what is your summary of the Q4 report, both operationally and otherwise?
No, I think we had one of our best quarters ever within PC console. We had a really strong performance by Kingdom Come: Deliverance II by the team of Warhorse. Really pleased to see, the success of that game that contributed also into the numbers. So, strong net sales of 5.4 billion, profitability of 1.1 billion, and almost as much in free cash flow. Good quarter.
Indeed. And as you said, Kingdom Come: Deliverance II, talked about it already in Q3, the great reception and ratings and so on. Now, obviously, I think the first DLC was released just 1 week ago, I think. How has that been received, and what are your expectations for the full year for KCD2?
Well, I think we had obviously a lot of players engaging in that new DLC package, which from what I understand is one of the smallest perhaps, or the smaller one of the 3 that are scheduled for this year. But happy to see that they are shipping that on time, and it seemed to be in line with the game. So looking forward to the following 2.
Yep. And looking at mobile briefly, 30% organic growth, notable acceleration, driven by higher user acquisition costs. How do you expect the performance to pan out during the year for DECA and CrazyLabs?
Yeah, so I think at core we need to say that it's the management teams that make the decisions on to scale titles or not, and it's a very competitive environment. What we saw in last quarter, they had 3 titles scaling with more user acquisitions: Bus Frenzy, Coffee Mania, and Glow. Now, coming into the year, it might be some changes into the scale-up of at least one of those titles. So that title most likely will come more into profitability level, unless the market changes for that title. And the other titles will continue to scale. I'm in particular excited about Glow. I think that could be potentially become something fantastic over time.
Interesting. And looking ahead this year in the PC console game segment, and starting with Q1, a bit of a slower quarter, quite limited new notable game releases. Q2, Killing Floor 3, obviously delayed for a few months. Why was it delayed, and how is it shaping up now? Anything to say there?
No, I think the team made a test with the community, and it was some strong feedback from the community and the fans. And the team listened to that, have made now some adjustments into the game, which I think the community now with the communication are more excited around. So, Killing Floor 3 do have the potential to actually become something, sizable. So I'm cautiously, excited about the release now in July.
Great. And for the full year now, on a group basis, you expect a rather stable year financially, despite then moving this third AAA game release of the year, most likely, to the following financial year. Beyond this year, what do you expect? How does the growth outlook look, perhaps especially in the PC console game segment?
No, we try. It's never easy, and we would like to avoid giving firm guidance and outlooks. So we gave some comments this morning. And the comment was that outside this financial year, where we see 2 AAA titles, even though a bit smaller on the financial contribution side, we do have 9 titles scheduled for release in the upcoming 2 financial years. aside everything else we have, including Middle-earth and including titles, also AAA titles developed for partners that potentially could ship in that time period. So I think outside this year, we will have 2 good years. How good remains to be seen. There is some really strong sequels and new titles in that pipeline, aside everything else we do on smaller and mid-sized titles. And now also looking back the past 5 years, we have been averaging one AAA title roughly per year. Now having 9, even though one or a few might slip, we will have a significant increase in big titles that we have invested well into already. So that's exciting. I'm really looking forward for the coming years.
Yep. And you also spoke a bit about strengthening the business ahead of the next spin-off. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there and what you expect in terms of impact and the future implications for the Coffee Stain Group and perhaps especially Fellowship Entertainment?
Yeah, well, the past year, as the rest of the industry, we have been adjusting the cost base of the group. We have been doing a bit early consolidation. Now the future of Embracer is now Fellowship Entertainment, and that will be one of more consolidated group or one operating group. So there is more efficiency that we need to work on in the course of the coming years as the rest of the industry. We are in a mature industry, and we just need to stay on top of things and focusing on delivering, unforgettable products for fans at the same time being efficient.
Yeah, excellent. And I mean, saving this for almost last, but you announced the spin-off of Coffee Stain Group today to happen before year-end calendar 2025. What has your thought process been like with the divestment of Easybrain obviously happening a few months ago and other things taking place with the spin-off of Asmodee? What has the thought process been like and what are your expectations from Coffee Stain Group sort of over the next 5-10 years? Big question.
Wow. We announced a separation of Embracer Group into 3 operational groups, and now this is the next step being announced this morning. Coffee Stain has been one of our most successful companies within the group since the acquisition 2018. They've been step by step in building that into something amazing with not only one title but several very successful titles with strong community engagement and engaging players when they bring more content to the games. So I think that's a very solid foundation to run a very stable and growing business. And I think I wouldn't say they are unique, but they are one of the leading companies in that field in the world. And I think by doing this spin-off, they will more easily be able to attract more talents and companies as an independent, publicly listed company.
Great. And then a final question. Obviously a strong financial position as of Q4, 5.4 billion in net cash. How are you thinking about sort of capital allocation, M&A, capital distribution, and what's the timeline like? So has been obviously a question since we divested.
It's a positive thing to have 5.4 billion available and with a strong underlying business. So that gives you a lot of flexibility and options how to allocate that capital, both to acquisitions, but also to, for example, add a bit of cash to the future spin-off for them to execute their business plans. But at base, I'm a long-term shareholder. I at one point, I'm personally positive to return some capital to shareholders. Now we have our normal AGM coming up in September, so let's see if there is a proposal from the board regards that or not. That's a later communication.
Interesting. Thank you, Lars. That's it from me, and thank you everyone for listening in.